garage fishing pole organization. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, everything that I use. You can see everything right here, how everything's nice and organized. Rather than your poles sitting in your garage, getting dog hair on them, getting all tangled up. I'm sure you've seen different options online, and this is exactly how I do it. Really easy, only takes a few minutes per pole. Okay, so go to your local hardware store and go to your plumbing supply section. You can get a 2-hole pipe strap. This is a 3/8 inch. You can also get a 1 inch. That will cover most of your poles. If you're doing your bigger poles like your surf rods or your deep sea rods, you might want to go a little bigger than 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches or 2 inches. But these work well for your bass rods, trout rods, catfish rods, that kind of stuff. Also, you're going to get self-drilling screws. I like these with a hex head because I just use a hex head bit and I can just screw that in. You don't need pilot holes. You can see my garage setup. I have just a flat face garage setup. Some of you might have strips of metal that you can pre-drill into. Then you can add your pipe straps to that. All right, we have a little bit of a bigger rod here that I'm going to just kind of, as I go along, I'm going to set up each rod. And I want this one about right here. I marked my holes already. That's how it's going to rest. So I like these hex head self-drilling screws because then you can just get the hex head bit right there, hook up to your impact drill, and then you can see the hex head screw there, just fits in there, and you're good to go. And I'm going to screw this on right here. All right, so I'm just going to drill that in really easy. All right, so that's there. I'm going to get the top. Going to make sure that's nice and leveled. All right, we got the top part in there. All right, now we're going to take our smaller clamp. With this one, you only have to screw in the bottom part of the clamp. I have it marked out right here. With this here, just going to pull it back a little bit. So you pull that back a little bit so the tip of the rod or the end of the rod can go in there. So that's good to go. This is one of our beefier rods, so the 1.5 inch is a little on the tighter side, so I'm going to get some bigger ones. But you can just slide that in there. And that just clips on right there. You can put the line inside if you want, but it rests just like that. All right, so you can see we have a lot of left-handled reel setups that you can see here, and they lay nicely up against the garage door. If you have any right-handled reel setups, you can put them on this side. This is not, but it still lays nicely, as you can see here. So it's not too bad, but just something to think about. Now we're gonna lift up this garage door. Ready? Here we go. So you can see how everything's like hanging like that. No issues. And very happy about the organization to keep your garage nice. The rods that I'm going to use more frequently right around here. Just be careful if your garage gets pretty messy like mine. Be careful about putting things towards the bottom because it could get knocked up against stuff that you have there. Super excited about the setup. Hope this video is helpful. Happy fishing. Thanks for watching.